Do we see Jesus Christ in the Old Testament? I'm Christy Birchfield, and today we are looking at Daniel. We're in chapter 7. We've been looking at this incredible vision that Daniel has had, and it's been during a really dark time in Daniel's life, a time when not many people around him are worshiping God, and God still is speaking to Daniel and providing a vision. And in this case, it's a vision of things to come. Looking at Daniel chapter 7, verses 13 and 14. And chapter 13 says verse 13 talks about how the Son of Man has come to the Ancient of Days. And then verse 14 goes on to say, he was given authority, glory, and sovereign power. All nations and people of every language worshiped him. His dominion is an everlasting dominion that will not pass away, and his kingdom is one that will never be destroyed. It's talking about Jesus. Now, I've heard a lot of people talk about the fact that Jesus Christ isn't mentioned in the Old Testament. And while it is true that historically, Jesus Christ did not live on earth during the time frame that the Old Testament was written. However, Jesus Christ is God, and as God, he exists throughout all time. We see Jesus Christ referenced and depicted in many ways through the Old Testament, and today, this verse, we see one reference of him. Now, if you've missed any of the previous sessions that talk about this vision that Daniel's having and kind of the storyline behind this, there's a link in the description below. It'll take you to the full playlist. Daniel sees a vision of the Son of Man coming before the Ancient of Days and receiving all glory and honor and power. He will be given a kingdom that will never be destroyed. All nations and peoples will worship him. This verse is a reference to Christ. In the New Testament, we see Jesus refer to himself over and over and over again as the Son of Man. The same reference that he's being used here in these verses. Now, we've been doing this series staying focused on leadership and leading through challenging circumstances. And to be clear, Daniel had plenty of challenging circumstances that he was seeking to lead through. But when we think of leaders and leadership, how often do we think of Jesus? Jesus Christ is the ultimate leader. He's the ultimate example of what leadership is, and through him is the only way we can understand leadership. He's the only true leader. We're to pattern our leadership and our lives after Jesus. He's worthy because God deemed him worthy. When we think of leadership, are we seeking God's leadership, Jesus' leadership in our lives? As we see in these verses, God gave Jesus the highest place in the universe. Are we giving him that same place in our lives today? Some things to think about. Make sure you subscribe so we can continue through. We'll keep following this vision and understand what else God showed Daniel and what it means as we continue through. We'll see you tomorrow.